it took a guy like Jobs to stand in front of Hollywood and say, we need music, figure it out. Although it wasn't any different than everything I had been saying for years prior. In fact, I quit Apple because they wouldn't let me work on that idea.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I quit Apple. And I did this company called Kerbango, an internet radio that was specifically trying to do that very thing. And in fact, the radio station's tuning service that's in iTunes, that was what I helped develop in Kerbango. I had this crazy idea to have a utility that would help you download MP3 songs off the internet and organize them and create playlists and share your playlists with others and then manage these on your computer. And I was told at the time to stop working on that and to get back to my job. I was like, but this is going to be the biggest thing ever. And they were like, stop working on that. So I quit shortly after that, walked away from an embarrassing amount of options, which today would have meant retirement, and started a company called Kerbango, which was very similar to the idea that did it was an internet radio. It was basically a small standalone box. Instead of an antenna, it had an Ethernet cable. And then it would dial in all these radio stations that were going on over the internet at the time. So I left Apple to start an internet music company. Meanwhile, I kept talking to this other guy, whose name I won't mention, about all these other ideas of what you could do with a product that would be, the concept was like the Palm Desktop Manager. You could do all your work in this desktop manager application, organize your music, this thing I was talking about before, organize your music, create playlists, things like that, and then dock a little portable device that would synchronize, kind of like the Palm, synchronize all the information, because once you walked away from the computer, what you really wanted was a reference tool, not an interactive editing, compiling, organizing tool, but just the reference tool. I just want to look up a name, kind of a thing like the Palm was good for. So I wanted that as a portable little gadget that would just have a play button. That's all I wanted. Just synchronize it, walk away, hit play. But back then, if you remember, the devices were really bad. Like, they were just bad. No one remembers how bad they were. You couldn't even store an entire CD on them, right? And they didn't connect to computers, and it was all bad. So anyway, the idea was that you could have this Palm Desktop-like metaphor of write an application and synchronize it to a device. And I gave a lot of those ideas to this guy at the time as I was working with him, because at the same time we had this tuning service in Kerbango that would dial in all the radio stations out on the web. It would spider the web, and it had them all categorized, and we helped him produce that product that he had, which was just an MP3 player, but then now it became an MP3 player / radio player. And then that product ended up getting bought by Apple and became iTunes.
I can see, are you at all bitter about that?
No, I don't have $1 billion. What do you mean? I'm not bitter.